I want to talk to you about recruiting. Okay. I don't know you all in this call, but here's what I know about you. Now, if you join this business just to build a big book of business and not build a team and not build an organization and not lead anybody, then this part's not for you. This part's not for you, right? This is not a mutual fund versus seg fund training. This is not an investment rate of return Invesco. I want to talk to you about you right now. I want to talk to you about recruiting. If once and for all, I want you to hear me on this because I think Chad and Jen just turned the corner on this. I think Nabby might have just turned the corner. He's got to finish over 10 to see if he did turn the corner. But so far, he's 4 months out of this year at DDR too. I want you to hear me on this. You can take the slow path. Let me repeat that. There's the never, never path. The never, never path. There's the slow path, and then there's the accelerator path. There's the never, never path, and the never, never is like, I do a recruit, I start, stop. It's like 2, 0, 1, 0, 5, 4, 0, 1, 0, 6, 2, 0, 8, 0, 1, 0, 4, 0, 9, 1, 4, 0, 0. That's the never, never path. It's never going to happen. And when I say it's never going to happen, I mean the dream that you started for is never going to happen. Can you still make some good money here? Yeah. Can you still make 40, 50, 60, 100 grand a year off your own pen? Yeah. Is it still the greatest opportunity in North America today? Yeah. It just means you're never going to build the business that you came here to build. Yes or yes? Okay. Then there's the kind of the medium speed path. That's where you consistently get between, 5 and 10 recruits a month. Consistently between 5 and 10 recruits a month, it'll take you 25 to 30 years to get to $250,000 a year. 25 to 30 years. Call it 30 years. Between 5 to 10 recruits a month will be about 30 years. Right? That's the path. And I know that, right? I've been here 18 years. Rob's been here 18 years. Right? Sleds have been here 17 years. Thompson's been here 15 years. And the reason they're ahead of that curve is because the reason they're all over 250 is because they did what I'm about to tell you to do. Okay? There's nothing wrong with taking 30 years to make $250,000 a year, because when you get there, it should be passive. I'm just not sure that you want it to take you 30 years. And you might laugh at that number like, that'll never be me. Just do the numbers. Just run your numbers. Run the pace. Just run the pace. It's about 30 years to $250,000 a year. Still the greatest opportunity on the planet. You still never find anything else that'll get you that kind of return as a pension. And then there's the accelerated path. That's where you truly wrap your head around building a team and recruiting. You get yourself over 10, you never go below. Now, you could personally get yourself over 10 a few months in a row before the team kicks in. But let me ask you this. Why would you want to wait 5, 6, 7 years to wrap your head around this from today? 5 years from now, you're going to wish you wrapped your head around it today. So let's talk a little bit about it. Let's talk about recruiting as I'm entering my 20th year here. Next year, right? It'll be me and Rob's 20th year in the business. Year after that, Melissa's 20th year in the business. We've been here a long time. So we know a thing or two about recruiting. Okay? And they'd all tell you the same thing. Recruiting is the answer. So I want you to write this down. Number 1, to have a recruiting mindset is to have a vision. To have a recruiting mindset is to have a vision. You don't need to recruit if you don't have a vision. If your vision is to be self-employed and make money off your own pen, right? Not come to the office and just do your thing, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You just don't have a vision to build a business here. The only reason that you need to figure out recruiting is if you have a vision for your business. That's it. A vision for your business, which is a vision for your life. But let me ask you this. When you signed up for this company 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 20 years ago, what was your vision for the business? What was your big dream? I know what my big dream was. I drew out 10 frontline SMDs. That was $1 million a year. I wanted to make $1 million a year in WFG. It was a big dream. It was unattainable for most people. Most people quit along the way. A lot didn't wrap their head around recruiting, so they fell short. But that was my vision. But what's your vision? Why are you here? Put it in the chat. I want to hear it. What part of this business is going to help you in the future? Why are you doing it? And not why are you doing it now? Why did you start doing it? What was the God-sized dream that you had when you started this business? See, here's what happens to most people. They get into business, they have a massive dream, a big dream, big one. And then over the years, the dream gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And they go, you know what? I guess I'm just okay with making 100 grand or 80 grand or 60 grand or 30 grand a year's not bad. What happened to the $500,000 a year? What happened to changing the family legacy? What happened to retiring the spouse, putting $1 million in the bank, right? Being financially independent by 50. What happened to that goal? The vision subsided. Your recruiting is tied to your vision. Write this one down. To develop a recruiting mindset is to develop a vision. If you develop a vision, you can develop a recruiting mindset. You're never going to get to 10 and you're never going to get to 5 if you don't develop a vision for what you want your life to look like. It has nothing to do with the number. It has everything to do with the vision for your life. When you see high recruiting numbers for 4 or 5 months and then it drops down to 0 or 2 or 3, it just means that person lost the entire vision for their life. They can't see past 100 grand or 50 grand a year anymore. They can't see past being a manager. They compare themselves to maybe working at Walmart or working at a hair salon or working as a janitor or owning a couple franchises. They see themselves like that now, but they came here to do so much more. But I want you to know, regardless of where you're at, that mindset can be developed. Because my question for everyone on this call is, how free do you want to be? What's your free? See, we walk up to this fountain of life, this WFG business that can give us everything that we want, and we're not asking for anything because we don't even know what free is. What's free? I hope free for you is not being able to work from home now and again. There's got to be more than that. Define your freedom. Define what it looks like. And it can't just be about the money. I don't know anybody that just started only for the money and that's making any real kind of money. Nobody. It's got to be more than the money. There's got to be more to it. It can't just be about the money. If you're struggling with that recruiting mindset, maybe you're just here to chase the money. Maybe you're here just to make money off of people. Well, if you're here, and I know that's probably not you, but I see it in the business. And people that are just there to make money off of people, they don't build relationships with their team. They don't put in the extra mile. They don't make an effort. You don't need to because you're just there for the money. But what it does is it impedes us from growing. And the last thing around recruiting is we recruit because we can. What a blessing. What a gift. People are like, do I have to recruit? Are you kidding me? I get to recruit? My God, here's my biggest nightmare. WFG calls one day and says, hey, we're not recruiting anymore. We're tapped out. Holy smokes, man. Can you imagine one day if we couldn't recruit and what you have today is what you got to take to the promised land? How many of you have built your business? How many of you are finished? How many of you have accomplished what you came here to accomplish when you signed your code? Probably not one of you on this call yet. Now, we take this recruiting thing for granted, don't we, Chad? We just act like this opportunity is going to be here forever. We show up to the call sometimes 10 minutes late, 30 minutes late, cameras off, not paying attention, right? We're up, we're down, we're up, we're down. We're not really focused sometimes in our business. Good week, bad week, poor me, poor me, up me. And we're just like so caught up in all the world, woe is me world. Meanwhile, we're all sitting on a rocket ship right now. We're all sitting on a rocket ship and destination is your dream. And some of us haven't even gotten into that rocket yet, have we? Some of us aren't even in the rocket yet. I want you to know, like, what's possible here is life-changing. And yeah, I'm a little direct tonight because I'm fired up and I care about all of you on this call. And I'm training you like you're my base shop tonight. But are you playing small? Have you cooled off a little bit? Is it time to recommit? Is it time to take it to the next level? Think about it. And if it is, I want you to write this down. It all starts with personal recruiting. You can't build a business on 5 personal recruits a year. You can pretend like it doesn't exist. You can try and manage your team. You can not show the personal recruiting numbers every month because your name's not on there. You cannot really talk to your team about it because you're not doing it. You can hide from it. They all know your number. Your whole team knows your number. They know your number. What's your personal recruiting number? Your personal recruiting number is directly tied to your belief in the business. Your willingness to go to work, your willingness to be the leader. If you came here to manage a team and make money, you probably don't have enough teammates yet to do that. And the only way to do that is to get after it. My favorite person, well, not my favorite, but one of my favorite personal recruiters in this business is, Jay Tramel's an animal, but I want to give a shout out to Jennifer Lowe. And Jay, you're in this category too. Jay Tramel and Jennifer Lowe. Those two people put themselves out there more than anybody else on this team. Nabby's not far behind with his numbers. These guys get more no's and more cancellations and more no-shows, and they set themselves up more for disappointment than anybody else on this call. They're the unsung heroes. They get the least amount of credit for the most amount of effort that they're doing. We should be parading these people across the stage because they're leading by example. How can we lead a team on 10 directs in a 12-month period? I'm talking about real leadership. I'm talking about figuring out what you want, design it. Not if I get it, great. If not, no big deal. Not I want to win, but I kind of want to be comfy too. I'm talking about setting a dream, a big goal and going after it with everything that you got. And you're a personal recruiting number away. You got to stop hiding behind your team. You got to stop hiding behind our busyness and our clients I'm running meetings and I'm organizing this stuff and I'm building this and I'm building that. What's your personal recruiting accountability? That's what matters here. There's no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts here. And the second thing is your team recruiting. Your identity is your personal and team recruiting. That's your identity. That's who you are in this business. And your average recruiting number as a team and personally is the standard that you have set, not just in your business, but in your life. Your recruiting number reflects your standard in your life. And if there's no standards in health and relationship and marriage, and if there's no standards in the personal life, maybe there's not enough standards in the business life. But they're all tied together. When you hold yourself accountable and you set a goal and you're getting after it and you're working at it, every part of our life gets better. And I've been on both sides. I'm speaking from experience. I've run a business before with no standards. Guess what I didn't have in my personal life? I also had low standards. I was drinking all the time. I was partying all the time. I was 20 years old, so it was worth it. I'm not saying it wasn't worth it. Good thing I had standards for my wife. Holy smokes. That's a whole different conversation. Your example and the culture that you set in your team impacts them. Your lack of personal recruiting is holding your team back. Your lack of personal recruiting is holding your team back. It's impeding them from getting to their goals and dreams. The low recruiting numbers as a team. What if 90% of your teammates never made it here because we had a low recruiting culture in our base shop? It impacts everybody. It's the legacy changer. But look, let's get real. It gets hard sometimes, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Does it get hard? Yes or yes? Yeah, it gets hard. We face some challenges in recruiting, don't we? Running a small base shop or a small MD team, associate team with no recruiting, that's easy. It's so easy. You could do it with making $100,000 a year here. You could do it with your eyes closed, working a day and a half a week without building a team. A day and a half a week. 6 days a month, you can make $100,000 here. I can prove it to you. Because recruiting is challenging. Because you get somebody that you know who calls this a deal. And then you have people on your team that quit. And it sucks. Because you believed in them. And you put effort in. You surround ourselves sometimes outside WFG with people that have small visions and they pull us back. And then some goofball writes something on the internet and makes a YouTube video and your best teammate quits. But you slow down. We slow down because for some reason it makes those comments true. We recruit 10 people and sometimes only 2 go through with it. And for some reason, the 8 that quit are an indictment on how this doesn't work. And we get frustrated. Or we put 2 policies in place that get canceled because their dad's advisor told them that what we sold them is garbage. And because that happened, we start to believe that maybe what we do isn't right for people. Is this true or true? You guys, we need to wake up. We got to wake up. I'm talking to me too. I'm looking at my eyeballs right now. We got to wake up. Hey, if you haven't noticed, the whole world is fighting. The whole world. Everybody's fighting each other. The left is trashing the right. Oh, it's hilarious. The right is trashing the left. The anti-vaxxers are all trying to convince the vaxxers that they're going to die. And the vaxxers are all trying to convince the anti-vaxxers that they're the problem. It's hilarious. It's so funny. People are actually posting about it on social media. It's hilarious. Oh my God. It's unbelievable. The Eastern world is blaming the Western world for the economy collapse. The Western world says it's the Eastern world's fault. The CrossFitters call bodybuilders meatheads. And bodybuilders say CrossFitters are ruining their bodies. My naturopath a month ago trashed traditional medicine doctors. Trashed. My Western doctor 3 weeks ago called my naturopath and my chiropractor quacks. I said, bro, it's 2023. I don't think you can say that word anymore. He goes, they're all quacks. They're not even real doctors. He called my chiropractor not a real doctor. This is my practitioner. The world somehow feels so awoken. And for some reason, everybody thinks that they need to be heard on every subject. Nobody wants to work, but everybody wants to be heard. And in reality, nobody cares what they think. Nobody cares what I think. And nobody cares what you think. Because we're all different. And we're all unique. And then we have the news that's spinning this story, this narrative, just to sell more views. It's fascinating. I'm so intrigued by it all. Must I go on? So yeah, not everyone's going to get it. They aren't going to get you because you're different by design. And that's why we love you. And WFG is different by design. And that's why we love WFG, because it's different. So not everybody's going to stick around long term. Not everybody's going to be with you forever. Not everybody's going to finish the race. But win or lose, you got to keep going. You got to keep moving. Since when should your big vision be predicated on the 3 people you have on your team? We got to stop managing our small team, our small vision, our small activity, our small person recruiting numbers, our small team recruiting numbers. Don't manage. Less time building structures, more time going to talk to people, getting our word out there, meeting with people, getting results, taking the message to the people, taking our message to the market. People are drowning financially. Drowning. I go 10 houses this way, 10 houses that way. 90% of them aren't going to make it to retirement. 60% of them don't even own life insurance. 63% of them are looking for a business. It's the greatest opportunity in business today. It's also the easiest opportunity to make 6 figures, which is a danger. You can make $100,000 to $150,000 a year part-time in our business as an SMD. It's the danger of it. It's too easy to make money here.